The early 21st century has seen the development of a global epidemic of obesity in both developed and developing countries. In Australia, at least 1 in 5 children and teenagers are overweight or obese. High sugar intaking is one of the main reasons resulting in obesity. Obesity is a result of sustained energy imbalance when energy intake from eating and drinking is greater than energy expended through physical activity. This energy imbalance might be influenced by a person's biological and genetic characteristics and lifestyle factors. About 27% of children and teenagers aged between 5 and 17 were overweight or obese. Out of these 27%, 20 were overweight and 7% were obese. Among adults, overweight and obesity have adverse health and economic impacts, including a higher risk of developing many chronic conditions. In 2011 to 2012, obesity was estimated to have cost the Australian economy $8.6 billion. If all Australians at risk of disease due to overweight or obesity reduce their body mass index by just 1 kilogram per meter square, or about 3 kilograms for an average person, the overall health impact of excess weight will drop substantially. According to SWOT analysis, 90% of citizens have a strong recognition of the obesity problem in Australia, which is a strength to change attitude and behaviors around teenagers and related groups. However, there are too many vending machines and high sugar product advertisements in the school, which is obviously enough to lure teenagers who lack self-control. In addition, parents and school teachers do not pay enough attention to this issue to prevent teenagers from taking too much sugar. Our target market is young people and related groups such as school teachers and parents. Because of their relevance, the target market for social marketing strategies is not only for teenagers, but also for these mentioned groups who support teenagers in education and the economy. Therefore, based on the situation in Australia and the teenagers' features, there are three objectives that we want to achieve in short term and long term. Avoid excessive sugar. Schools are prohibited from offering students the opportunity to purchase high sugar products. Reduce the obesity rate among Australian teenagers in the coming decades. Before talking about the guiding theory of this social issue, we should understand and summarize what caused this problem first. Professor Johnson said that hormone-driven appetite and physical development mark the beginning of puberty, but teenagers rarely pay attention to the ingredients of their food. In addition, Professor Kastner pointed out that teenagers are often considered to be under-controlled groups who are very vulnerable to the environment, family, and peer pressures. Because of the complexity of the factors and methods that affect teenager behavior and habits, social marketers should use large system theory and socio-ecological models to analyze the social problem. Develop multi-level social marketing programs involving upstream, midstream, and downstream operations. This will enable marketing programs for the social problem to be carried out at multiple levels and aspects, such as government policies, schools, and parents managing the student's daily diet. Social marketers have developed a marketing plan to control teenager sugar intake by focusing on obesity, diabetes, and even cancer. These programs involve government policies, social awareness of healthy lifestyles, communities, and groups that influence teenager behavioral activities, and change the bad habits of excessive sugar intake in teenagers' daily lives, ultimately achieving these four goals. There are two marketing strategies. First one is vending machine strategy. The short-term marketing strategy is to suggest that schools reduce the chances of teenagers taking sugar. In order to replace sugary drinks, schools need to provide students with hot and cold drinking water and soda water, which can also reduce the chances of students buying sugary drink in the short term. At the same time, parents and schools should provide students with nutritious foods that meet the daily standards sugar intake of teenagers. Here are some policies of the vending machines in different countries. For the longer term, during the implementation, social marketers selected a region as a test target to measure teenager weight changes for each quarter of the year. If the student's average weight drops and the physical indicators are close to normal, Social marketers can organize the collected data for reporting. The government will issue regulations based on reliability and feasibility of the strategy. In the long-term process, students are more likely to develop healthy living habits, which means that in the future it will be possible to change the food culture. Scholars such as Tannenbaum provide evidence that intimidating people can help them to adopt or avoid certain behaviors, especially when the negative consequence of the proposal is dire. It is also discovered that people often take an extra step to eliminate fear. Friedman's options support this view. As a result, social marketers can work with advertising agencies to create an event that describes the short, medium, and long-term effects of obesity and disease caused by eating too much sugar. For example, short-term effects include stature in adolescents, loss of self-confidence and self-esteem. The medium-term effect may be that people who are usually obese when they are teenagers are also obese in their adulthood. Long-term effects can cause many medical and psychological problems that can lead to premature death. For the social marketing of this project, here are two compulsory parts: evaluation plans and budgeting. For the evaluation plans, it could be divided into 6 stages. The first one is the marketing options. Here we have two options: preventing sugar drinks from vending machines in high schools and the fear factor. The former one is more suitable due to the fact that it can be quantified. The later one has the difficulty of collecting and quantifying the data. The second stage is to investigate the reality of the aims and the objectives. In this scenario, they are both realistic. The sugar drinks in the vending machines can be replaced by water or soda, while the fear factor draws a bigger picture of the future of teenagers. The third one is the consistency, and they're both complementary. The fourth stage is feasibility. Time, resource, and skills are key elements to be considered, while they all can be satisfied with the two options. The fifth stage is a risk assessment. Neither of the options has high risk. The final stage is the potential rewards, as they have the same aims, which are tackling the obesity problem. They deserve the same rewards, that is, healthier life, less medical expense, and flourishing economy in Australia. When it comes to budget, things are different. Vending machines require less budget. Good communication with school heads can prevent sugar drinks effectively. The fear factor needs more government funding due to the investment in media sensitization, such as advertising both mainstream media and online platforms. Thank you.